Superheroes speak a comic book dream, where legends are born and stories redeem. With Dave, John, and Dark Dawn, who will we cast? The podcast is here to make the past last.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Superhero Speak. I'm your host Dave,
and I'm your resident Omega level nerd, Don. What's up?
apparently, okay, I have to ask our audience who may be watching or not watching yet. If you come in late, let me know. On my headphones, the intro was really staticky sounding. I don't know if that was an issue with. Okay, so I might need new headphones. Damn it! I think one of them's cracked. All right. All right. We were supposed to have a guest host tonight. Don't know where he is, and I even put it in the description. So Montago, if you're watching, I don't know if you're on Central Time and you're thinking 8:30 your time, not 8:30 Eastern. So we shall see. Yeah, because he even got the email. So let's just we'll just continue on. We're professionals, kinda, sorta. How are you doing, Don? What is new in your world?
Yeah, doing great, Dave. Thanks for asking. What's new in my world? You know, not much. Got to play a round of Magic on Friday. It was in a 5-player game that I won. Second was a 3-player game, but I was like tired and had some, adult beverages and whatnot. So I was just kind of into it. So didn't win that one. But even cooler still, I have an 8-year-old daughter, among other children, that I was actually teaching and playing Hero Clicks with. So not too many familiar people with that, I'm sure, but it was pretty cool because she was like she was getting it, with so that's awesome. So great week, Dave. How about you, man?
I remember HeroClix, but like I think we talked about it when we were in New York. Like I started collecting them because I like the cool miniatures.
Yeah.
And I think I actually played the game 2 times with someone, and that was it. So
I played it a lot over the years. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, no, let's see. I'm all right. I've had a weird week of up and downs. Well, the first thing was this was the first official week where I was in my new role at work, and that went well. There are no issues with that. But it's still just like learning the new code that I'll be supporting and all that kind of stuff. And then it's okay. It's gonna sound weird, but like when you have routines and you're so used to them, and when they get interrupted, it like throws you off. Wait, here we go. Late to the show, but we'll pop them in because we're live.
You guys do it live? Holy shit.
Oh yeah, we do it live now.
Fuck, I didn't know that. I'm sorry, but let me stop cussing because I don't know if you guys are monetizing it.
Oh no, I cuss all the time.
Yes, he does. All right. Joining us via satellite, filling in for John this week. One of our best friends in podcasting, the one and only Montago Bradley from Fans on Patrol. How are you, sir?
Oh man, I'm doing great, man. I hope the sound is good. I had no idea you guys did this live. I'm like, I'll get here and everything will be cool. We'll get it together, and we'll move.
Okay. That actually
do it live.
That actually, it's funny. That brings up an excellent point. Because I want to talk about this a little bit because you've been in and out of the podcasting stuff for a little while. Like I know you guys have been having some issues keeping it live or keeping it consistent. But like you also haven't been in the Geek World Allstars chat as much over on X. So yeah, we've been doing this live it's going on 2 years now. We do it live every Sunday at 8:30. So
Jesus, I have no information because it wasn't like 2 years ago the last time we stopped. We stop podcasting. You know, funny enough, man, you say that. Me and Tiff literally kept getting together week after week after week and recording shows, but not
Mhm.
putting them out because I had so much stuff going on at work that, you know, the editing for anybody in podcasting, you know, that's like
Yeah.
4 times the job, you know. And so it was like, I got to edit this show. I don't have time, you know. So we kept recording. So we have 7 months worth of shows. So
Which
we never really left, but we wasn't putting them out.
which
The
is
archives.
which is part of the joy of doing it live. Because what's the point of editing? We're live. Like
Yeah,
we're just gonna do it
exactly.
and have some fun. So
How do you guys like this live stuff, man? You know, is it better for you? Or?
oh, it's great. And we get regulars like Thrawn here, who and they comment while we're live, and we can put them up and say, he says, "Evening Jets. Remember, the Penguin now rules these, while those who close to him float in pools." Oh, geez.
Oh, too
Oh,
soon,
okay.
Ron.
Too
Too
soon. We'll
soon.
talk about that in a second.
Yeah, I didn't watch the last 2 shows, so I don't know what the hell is going on. I hope it's not a spoiler.
And there
Oh,
we go.
it is.
Here's our other good buddy.
Hassan, yes. No, and that's the funny thing is I did hear about the end of the show, and it kind of makes me not. I don't want to ruin it for you, Montago, but it kind of makes me not want to continue watching it.
Please don't, because it's probably the most show I enjoyed in probably in the last 3 or 4 years, man.
Yeah,
I'm
you guys talked about it on your last episode, and I mean, I was a little shocked because it's so dark.
I've changed, Dave. I've changed a little bit over the years. I really, you know, dark stuff wasn't really my thing, and I don't know, man. I just kind of changed. A lot of the stuff that's been coming out in Marvel and Star Wars has been so terrible that, you know, it's just like, thank God for some, you know, for some grittiness and for some realism, you know. And so
All
when
right.
Penguin came out, I've been like, oh, this is some good stuff. But like, yeah, a lot of the MCU stuff and especially the TV stuff and all that stuff, I ain't been feeling it, man. You know, I could talk about that forever. You know, it's just, you know.
I can see it. Yeah, I have actually I've watched the first couple episodes and haven't gotten back to it because life, you know, has gotten in the way,
For sure.
and I tried to put the podcast before that kind of stuff, unless we're specifically talking about it.
You are a good man. Goodness gracious.
But yeah, the other thing I wanted to talk about real quick because we're talking about my ups and downs this week.
Okay.
And you're involved with this and you don't know because again, you haven't been on X.
Right.
We just found out like right before we went live that So Wizard is actually leaving the Geek World Allstars. They joined another network.
Oh wow.
And yeah, and they will they said it's nothing personal or anything like that. It's just a bigger network that they're joining that can do more
So
promotion for them.
they can't do both. They got to leave.
We didn't say that. It must be the other network must want them to be exclusively with them. So
You must be exclusive.
because Colt 45 is in 2 networks, and you know,
Yeah, I mean, it's enough for everybody to go around, and at the end of the day, it's just this, you know, what do you call it? It's internet stuff. So, you know, it's not.
yeah, and it's like the whole thing with the Geek World All Stars is just supporting each other, being able to do stuff like this, fill in for people, and just you do crossovers and have fun. But yeah,
Well, it's disappointing. I mean, at least for me, but for them, you know, I guess whatever they got going on, you know, is I guess it's gonna work for them. I mean, wow, I'm actually really surprised about that. But
well, it's also interesting because it was Joey and I who started it. It was our idea, so
wow,
yeah, I was shocked when he
Awesome.
just announced it in the chat. I'm like, okay.
Geek World All-Star drama tonight.
that was yeah, you're right. I haven't looked at X in 100 years, and I looked at it today because I saw your message. I was like, oh shit, Dave was he was contacting me in this, you know, and I hadn't paid attention. There it is. Yeah, Jesus Louise. Okay, all right, fellas. Well, don't be a stranger. I mean, we just went on their show and had a ball, Tiff and I, not too long ago. So
Yeah.
I don't think this means anything for friendship or whatnot. I mean, who knows what they got
Exactly.
going.
We'll still
You
be
know what?
friends.
He's now my mortal enemy.
Is-
Okay, Bucket, I'm in it. I'm about that life. Let's go.
No, it's funny because I said that, like, he said, this is not going to be beef with anyone. I replied, joking around, like, well, now you do. And right away, Ray jumped in. He was like, oh, they're just trying to grow, Dave. Oh, it's called humor. What? We used to be able to laugh at things in this country.
yeah,
Damn
yeah,
it.
yeah. Wow. What's the name of the network they're going to? Do you guys know that they said?
Unfiltered Studios.
Like,
So.
I even saying that, I don't know if that's big, little, tiny, good, bad. I don't know. I literally haven't paid attention for the longest, and not trying to like sound big timey or nothing like that. I just had so much shit going on at work.
Yeah.
It's just, the moment I got a chance to like relax and chill, it was like, I just didn't have the bandwidth, but I think I will have the bandwidth moving forward now, man. I'm feeling pretty good about getting back involved and stuff. We recorded a show today on our show, and we're not leaving, so
of course not.
So whatever. Yeah, we recorded.
And
I just gotta put it together. I'll do that. No, I will do that tomorrow because we're back.
And have you been riding this summer?
The motorcycle?
Yeah.
Not really, man. So I got issues, man. I got body issues. I'm so fucking fat right now, right? And so like I've been skinny like my whole like adult life, and so here's a funny story. During the pandemic, me and my wife was like, let's eat food and get fat, right?
Yeah.
And so we did, right? But I turned 50 during the pandemic, and my most of my friends are over 50, and they were like, dude, once you get 50, it don't come off like that no more, right?
Yeah.
And boy, were they right, man. So I got fat, and my wife, like, she just recently lost her weight. But for me to be on a Ducati with my weight size, I didn't want to be a fat man on a little bike. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't rode that much.
That man on a little bike.
Exactly, bro. And so not only that, I've actually gotten into I still love riding, but I'm trying to buy a boat right now, like a
Yes.
yacht, at least 55 to 60 footer.
Whoa.
And so like I've been like going to boat shows and trying to find the right boat, and my wife is all into it too. And so it's been like, okay, we'll take the bike and like get make sure we have a tender crane to put it on there. But yeah, I'm trying my best, and I'm not trying to sound like a rich guy on this show, because yeah, they could be like $2 million or they can be $50,000. It's just what year you get, and only a fool or a super rich man will buy a brand new boat, because that's when they're the most expensive. You put about 5 years on it, and it's a different thing. So I'm really into boats like this year, and like trying to find the right boat. And so the season is over with now, so we'll start again. So no, I haven't ridden that much. I maybe about 4 or 5 times this year. And so yeah, just because one, fat, two, looking for a boat. I know that sounds stupid, right?
You just admitted on air that you're part of the 1%. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, here I am. I've got a 14-foot John boat that I have fun with. But hey, not sure how close to Ohio Lake Erie you are there. But if you need a first mate, let me know when the applications are open. I will put that in.
Like, we're so close to Lake Erie, and that's another thing. So we have this house. My kids are in school, and I'm like, we should just have a house built like right by the lake, and so that way I don't have to pay for.
Yes, you should.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff going on. But we'll see. We'll see.
All right.
Again, I'm not rich at all, but all this shit is achievable. You just have to like focus in on it, and it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? Boats are cool, motorcycles are cool, and you don't have to pay through the roof for them, just to enjoy that life. Although a lot of people do, because they just don't try to find that niche, So There we go.
Yeah. All right. I also the other thing I was going to say is I told you a story last week, Don, about three guys that ended up on an island, and it was had
Did.
cannibals on it,
Mhm.
and they all ended up getting eaten and died. Our listeners probably remember that story from last week. Well,
Lovely.
did you know there's a follow up to that story?
Hmm.
I do
So
now.
the three guys, they meet up at the pearly gates, in St. Peter's there, and uh he says to them, "Oh, welcome, and you guys are here on the best night. It's Christmas Eve, so of course it's Jesus' birthday. There's a big party going on. We got a VIP section all set up, and I can give you VIP passes if you have something on you that's Christmas related." So the first guy digs into his pocket, he pulls out his keys and he jingles them and he goes, "Jingle bells." And St. Pierre laughs and goes, "Oh, that's great. That's great. Here's your VIP pass." And he goes in. Second guy, he's digging through his pockets and he pulls out a lighter and he lights it and he goes, "I'm a Christmas candle." That's a good one. That's a good one. St. Peter gives him his VIP pass and he heads on in. And then the last guy, he's digging through his pockets, digging and digging, and finally he pulls out a pair of panties.
Oh shit.
St. Peter looks at him and goes, "How is that Christmas related?" And he goes, "These belong to Carol." So
Christmas Carol.
there you go. There's your inappropriate joke of the week.
Yuck,
Get
yuck,
us in
yuck,
the
yuck,
holiday mood.
It's amazing
Uh,
this time of year so far, man. I mean, so it seemed like it came quick this year.
oh yeah.
And plus they
That's-
rush it, right? It's like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, what's today's date?
As soon as Halloween is done, it's at November 1st. Here we
Yeah,
go.
I was in Denver last week and Colorado,
Mhm.
and I was they had a blizzard, I mean, a honest to God
Wow.
blizzard while I was there. Like I didn't even think I was gonna make it out. And I was sitting in a hotel my last night, and they started putting up all the shit, like the tree, like they would start putting up all the decorations. So I was sitting there having drinks, and by the time I left, full of holiday decorations, and I was like, "What is
Mhm.
today's date?" I was like, "What is today's date?" It was literally a week. It was the week before last, and I just couldn't believe it was like the day after Halloween. And you're right, Dave. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember being like that before. I remember you at least had some Thanksgiving stuff to deal with.
No, but I think that's because there was quite a few lean years for stores during the holidays, and they started pushing it earlier to make more money instead of just waiting until Black Friday.
But yeah, exactly. Like fuck, Black Friday is like yesterday.
Yeah, it's like,
If you
yeah,
listen.
that's true.
yeah. Every time I open my Amazon app, it's like, "Oh, Christmas, Black Friday week. Is next week." It's like,
You're right.
week?
I was on Xbox and they have their Black Friday specials, and I was like, "Oh, I can buy this now."
Right.
Black Friday, but it's Wednesday. What? Like, yeah.
Have you guys watched that movie Black Friday with Ash
No.
from the
No.
I mean, it's a horror, it's a comedy horror. It's kind of
Yeah.
like Ash. It stars I forgot the guy's name just because I'm talking about him, but it's
Right.
it's kind of funny. The guy who plays Ash.
Yes. Oh my God, I can't think of his name now.
That's
I can't think of it either.
that's
That's
what
fucked up.
happens when you
That's
start
fucked up.
like, oh shit, what's his name?
I'm sure someone in the chat will scream it in a
He's
second.
like my
Bruce
brother's
Campbell.
favorite. There we go. Right.
Yep.
Fuck,
Throw kill.
one more and they'll
Thank
take
you.
away our nerd card. Shit.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm the worst at that. You bring up something and you're like, what's the name? What's the name? Just because you say it, But yeah, it's okay movie. I mean, kind of funny.
We're talking about things feeling like they're coming earlier, and Kassan says time relativity makes every year you experience feel shorter than the last. Is that an old crack?
Yes.
I'll take
Yes, it is. That's how I'm taking it.
Oh,
I don't need reminded that I rush ever so closer to the end of my mortal coil. Okay, Kassan. Jeez.
It'd be a beautiful thing when it happened, though. It'd be like going to Valhalla. So,
there you go.
and you guys will never know.
Zack Snyder dark here. Come on.
You know, they say if you need to die in battle to go to Valhalla, so I plan to throw my juice box at the nurse in the nursing home right before I die.
Yeah.
You want a piece of me?
All right. Well, we talked about how we're doing. We gave our inappropriate joke of the week, and we talked about the Geek World Allstars falling apart. But until we can change the promo, here's Darth Don to tell you more about the Geek World Allstars.
Good evening, plebeians. Darth Don here to tell you that Superhero Speak is not just a YouTube show. It is also a website. You will go to superheroespeak.com, where you can find all the social media links to the show, comic reviews by Chris, and most importantly, our merch. You will buy our merch. And while you are on the HoloNet, you must check out the rest of the Geek World All-Star Podcast Network, an influential conglomerate of podcast shows like the Pop Prism Power Podcast, Colt 45, That's So Wizard, Fans on Patrol, Twisted Mind of 8-Bit Ray and the Gorilla Brain podcast, and of course, the powerful Superhero Speak. Plug in hashtag GW Allstars, and you will not be disappointed. And if you do not comply with my request here tonight, I will torture you by making you watch The Acolyte, the one and only season, over and over again. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a double feature to catch. They're showing Blade 2 and The Matrix Reloaded at the drive-in. Now, back to the show.
Damn, that's pretty impressive, man. I got some serious Ray Stevens vibes from that shit.
I'm watching.
That was a beautiful.
I'm watching the chat here, and is this you, Don?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, feel free to show it, but yeah. That was me about fucking 5 years ago. Look, hardly any gray in the beer. Fuck me.
I just dyed this.
You rocking that Ray Stevens now, man. That's a beautiful man right there, Jack, man.
Thank you.
That was that Ahsoka vibes right going on. God damn, that's nice.
That's awesome.
Right.
I love that fucking character.
Well, now is the time in the show where Montago, you can tell everyone where they can find Fans on Patrol.
Woo! I haven't done this in 100 years. For everything Fans on Patrol, go to fansonpatrol.com. We also are available on. We have become active again on Fans on Patrol on Facebook, on X, a little bit on X, but mainly on Instagram. So fansonpatrol.com. Thank you.
Okay. You are out of practice.
I am, bro. And I don't do it. Tiff does it. I'm like, take it away, Tiff. I ain't thought about it in years, right?
All right. And if you've gotten this far in the show and you haven't done so yet, please click that subscribe button, click the link, click the bell for notifications so you don't miss us when we come here live every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. If you like what we're doing here, smash that like button as it's smashing Montago right now.
Yeah.
It does help with the algorithm and get our name out there even more. And if you're so inclined, check out our merch store. Link is in the description below. Get yourself a Superhero Speak t-shirt today and help support the show. And then we can grow even more.
You know, Dave, I've never quite seen that happen to someone that's bald on the show before, and now that I have, I don't know about. I don't know if there.
There's your inappropriate joke of the week.
I don't know.
Well, hold up. Let me hold you up for a second because I shaved my head. I ain't bald. Shit.
Right, absolutely.
This is just the way it goes.
Yep.
It's been for me.
No, I get it. Ever since Kill Bill #2, where that monk guy was like, "By the way, I'm not bald. I shaved my head." Like, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
There's distinction. So there you go.
All right. On that note, we will take a quick commercial break and be right back with the news.
Some podcasts are like this.
There's not an ocean between us and South America. Around it. In between it. We're not connected. We are literally connected. North America and South America are no, they're not. No, it's not. Central America. Cam, I'll pay you $1,000 if there's not an ocean between us. I'll pay you $1,000 right now. I'm telling you, will have to give me $1,000 if you put your hand out. There's water all around it. There's oceans to the left. That's in between. There's oceans to the right. The land connects. No, it does not. Put your hand out. $1,000. Which one's us? You find it, buddy. Which one's us? Find it. What globe? They're all the same. That's oh shit me. Oh, what do you know? No, this is an updated one. No. No. That's the globe, you rat bastard. This is a 2020. Pay up! No. That doesn't count. Yeah. Oh, it does. You shook? That's never been there. That's always there. That is Central America. That's Mexico. Bitch, does that not say Mexico on the thing? What about all the other ones? Little names right there. It's all the same thing. It's Mexico. That's not Mexico. That's a different country in the same land. Yeah. That's possible.
And some podcasts are like this.
So what's your take?
Divorce, not that big of a deal.
100% agree. Divorce is not that big of a deal.
It's just a breakup after a party.
A legal breakup.
I don't even, yeah, sure. I guess. I had a friend recently who was like, my parents just got divorced. And I was like, yeah, but you're not 13.
Yeah, you're like, who cares?
Also, have you ever gotten out of a lease? That's just as hard. In this city, I'd rather have a child than a lease.
You got to break up with your landlord.
No, she's my favorite. It might be my longest relationship.
When you break your lease, it's like getting a divorce from your landlord. That's so sad.
Have you been divorced?
Of course. Have I been divorced? I'm 37. Everyone should be divorced at least once.
At least once.
Before 40. Otherwise, it means you aren't living.
So I haven't lived.
How old are you?
37.
Unless you get married and divorced in the next 3 years. I mean, you can't talk about how divorce is easy, and you haven't even been divorced.
No, but I've had 12 years of relationships end.
Divorce is way harder than a breakup.
4 minutes ago, you had the opposite take.
No.
Divorce is not that big of a deal.
It feels like you're reliving the breakup again, and I don't need that. That's my whole point.
Look, I agree that it's not a big deal. It's okay. Just a breakup is, I'm out. Good to see you. Have a nice life.
You gotta teach me how to break up.
You just keep coming back.
I do come back.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
But only one podcast is where you can get in-depth analysis like this.
Because even when she tried to talk to him, he was like, "Oh, I'm on a mobile phone." That was honestly, that's an '80s flex, bitch. I'm on the phone in the car.
You know how much this costs right now?
Impossible.
$6 a minute.
There are 1-900 numbers, nigga, that are cheaper than this, right? What are those? You ask young kids. That's how people used to jack off back in the day on the phone. Times were different. Niggas used to see a commercial at 11 o'clock at night on USA Network.
Sometimes it's not about the visual; it's about the audio.
Remember when they were like doing text? Because like that's how they upgraded.
Yeah,
they're like text a hot sing. What?
That's right. Because now when you read it in the voice in your head of the hottest person you can think of.
Honestly, OnlyFans is like if you would have went back in time and told the 1-900 niggas that there's a thing called OnlyFans, they will like try to jump in the time machine with you, nigga.
Yeah, they're like,
let me come with you. They give me cash.
No, you don't want this. The future is terrible. Everything's underwater.
You're pulling a walk hard. You don't want this.
You don't want this.
It's called OnlyFans.
You don't want it. You don't want no part of this, Bobby. So it's got to cost like a lot of money. Now, some of these bitches just give it away for free. Well, it's got to be like real exclusive. You can get it literally everywhere.
You are now listening to Cult 45.
This is Beat 'em Down.
And I'm Random Randy Savage.
Find us on all your podcatching apps like Podbean or Spotify, and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or just go to www.cult45podcast.com.
Also, check out our YouTube for that sweet, sweet video content.
Cult 45, the only podcast that puts hair on your chest.
He said, "Bitch, I'm on the phone."
I definitely need new headphones. One of the speakers is cracked. Damn it! All right.
Sucks.
And real quick before we get to the news, if you're watching this and you have a podcast and you would like to be advertised on this show, like we do every week, send me an email, dave@superheroespeak.com, and if you have an ad, send it to me and I'll put it in the rotation. Montago, you should talk to Randy because he created one for the traders. I mean, for So Wizard. That's kind of fun.
Oh,
so
boy.
I'm sure he can create one for you that I'll gladly play every week. So
Okay. All right. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna get back into the game here and start doing my goodies and stuff. And it was a lot of fun. I'm telling you, man, it's been stressful at work. So
yeah.
Things is changing though. So it's a good thing. So I'm telling you, we back.
I believe you. I believe you. All right, we got some news to talk about. We did get a trailer this week for season 3 of What If, and they're making it look like it's going to be their final season as well, which I find interesting. Did you guys have a chance to see the trailer, and what did you think? And of course, Montago, you can go first.
That's interesting, man. Yeah, I saw the trailer. I only saw What If season 1 and the first show of season 2. And that was kind of deliberate. I kind of lost interest. I can't tell if I'm a fan of it or not because I was a super duper fan growing up of the What If books because they were so special. I mean, and they weren't so earth shattering when it happened. Sometimes it was like goofy stuff. What if Spider-Man, didn't have webs, or something like that.
Right.
What if Hulk killed Wolverine? Something like that.
Well, right. I mean, but this, like, everything seems so, like, when I was watching the first season and the first show, most of the stuff was so cosmic. And then, I think the first season they had like some of the real actors, from the movies and stuff, and then some of them was replacements. And it just seemed like it was so much pressed into it for you to be impressed. And I don't think I was ever impressed, even with the Peggy Carter stuff and things like that. I was like, okay, and then like they had like the what was it, the madness, the Scarlet Witch, the number 2 of Doctor Strange. And they had a lot of those elements of that What If for season 1 in there. And I don't know. I don't know if I was suffering from fatigue. I don't think I was, but I just wasn't that damn impressed, even with the anime style.
You make an excellent point because the What If stories were meant to be one-off. What if this happened instead of this? And what they did with the show is they've connected them and they came up with the multiverse Avengers and the Watcher is involved and all these crazy things. And it was like, okay, like it's entertaining, but it's not the What If books.
Yes, that's a great point because it was just random stuff, What if Wolverine did not have adamantium? You know what I'm saying? It was like, and not that was a book, but it was like that. And it was just like little subtle things that would be like, what the hell? Let's see what that looks like,
Right.
But with this book, it all seemed to be like something more bigger going on. I mean, I remember one of the stories where T'Challa was Star-Lord pretty much, It's like it was interesting, but it wasn't that damn interesting. It went too hard on, in my opinion. And I'm not trying to be a curmudgeon, but I think they just went so damn hard and tried to make them being so earth-shattering that it lost the fun of what If was, because What If was so goddamn fun. Every time it came out, I was like, oh, this is good. But with this show, it was like, ooh, oh, and I was like, why am I ooh and oh on shit that ain't no matter, right?
Right.
Because I'm not a multiverse fan, like to establish a
Mm.
core audience because there's no stakes. Multiverse shit happens. You can always find another Spider-Man. You can always find another Thor. It's going to be a new Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. So
yeah.
what's the stake?
Goddamn travesty.
So I'm not a fan of. And even Deadpool in his movie was like, guys, the multiverse thing, and I was like, oh God, thank you, Ryan Reynolds, for pointing that shit out. That the multiverse stuff is a shit show. So that's my opinion on it, Dave.
All right, how about you, Don?
Well, as I've said before, I've been tired of the multiverse since they started doing it in the MCU. And I've also said before that I don't quite understand the what if when we already have a multiverse in the main MCU. So it's just not resonating. I mean, there's been some cool things like, Ultron immediately killing Thanos as soon as he could make any sort of, monologue and shit like that. But just like Montago, I didn't see the season 2 of What If because of all the reasons I just stated. We already have a multiverse. It's just not that interesting to me. So with season 3, I'm certainly not anticipating it. But, Sir Mix-a-Lot, big but. They showed Storm with, her Asgardian powers, which is, I like that part of the character.
Yeah.
I like them saying, hey, Storm can fuck around with Asgardian shit too.
Pretty hot as hell.
And see, yeah, absolutely. Like,
hot as hell.
Those fucking thighs, like, if she would let me, I would go in and I would have, just streaks on my face, burnout streaks on my face. But, yeah, I mean, obviously anything X-Men I'm into, so they kind of hooked me a little bit.
See that,
it's obviously the same actress who voices her in X-Men 97. But it's funny because that is a story from the comics, not a what if story. Like there was a Loki story or X-Men story where she got a hammer and had the power of Thor, and it was Loki tricking her to one up Thor. So it's interesting that they're doing this and making it a what if. So that's like, to me, that's the only episode I think I'm interested in at this point. So
they got me with the fucking Avengers Voltron because they know I'm gay for giant robots. So that, they'll get me there too.
Yeah, I know. You're gay for a lot of things. All right. Moving on. The other news that we saw this week, Denzel Washington, the great Denzel, is going to be cast in Black Panther 3 in an unnamed role at this point, and he has come out and said that he's happy to do the film, but it'll be one of his last because he is getting up there. He wants to retire. So 2 questions. What do you think of this casting, and who do you think Denzel could possibly play in the MCU? And Don, this time you can go first.
What do I think? I'm dismayed because, he says, well, the writer is going to write a part for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not a real big fan of that. Like, I would rather hear, hey, there's this character that we think you would be great for. And okay, great, wonderful. But this whole, they're going to invent a character for me to play. It just doesn't excite me that very much. Who could he play? I'm, and this may surprise people, I'm still in that whole like Professor Xavier Magneto camp where I think Denzel Washington would be a great Magneto.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like that idea. Like that, they can still do that and have it makes, perfectly sense just because he's not white. It can absolutely still fit. And I like it.
Yeah, but Magneto would have to do several films, and again, he's ready to retire, so I think he's just going to do this one and be done.
True enough. They are going to have to de-age Magneto if they're going to stick with the whole Holocaust thing.
Yeah.
Which they've done in the comics, so no problem.
What do you think, Montago?
Yeah, I saw this, and it's really kind of a whirlwind this last week with this story, because it was like saying, they brought it out and it was like, no, it's bullshit, it's not true. And then and then it was like, yeah, it is true. Now, should Denzel Washington retire? He's like in Gladiator 2, right? I have no idea what role he's playing in there.
Yeah.
And he's so some of the internet stuff showed him with like a young T'Challa body with his head superimposed, instead of be like some new person. Of course not. He's gonna be some person that of course he's gonna be a mentor, type of person, that, and who knows where that story goes. Was not a fan of Black Panther 2. Loved the shit out of Black Panther 1. And so for him to be in this movie, I mean, it'll bring the gravitas of a seasoned, beautiful, actor. And if he's a part of it, because they're writing something for him, and I'm sure it's probably a Marvel character that's already established that they just haven't used yet.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good, because he doesn't really sign. I mean, not since he was young, he doesn't really sign on for like bullshit. He's getting older. He signs on for stuff that's gonna be worthwhile, which is good. How they bring T'Challa back. They showed the boy. And whatever they're gonna do to bring the Black Panther back, as long as it's not Shuri, which was actually in the comics a really good story when T'Challa got blown up, and I think it was by Dr. Doom, and and then she was like the Black Panther for a year. That was cool, but the movie just did not translate. It was just too much sadness, and so yeah. Denzel Washington in this Marvel movie, and not just a random Marvel movie, is even cooler. So, with the centric part of the journey will be cool. Whoever he will be, I have no idea, man, because the books have had such a journey, from the modern times.
Mhm.
I mean, so many writers. Ta-Nehisi Coates was writing it at one point. What is it? Adams? What was his name? Adams. I talked to him at a Comic-Con about it. He was writing it for a minute. He invented John Stewart. I don't know, you guys are the
Yeah,
right. You know who I'm talking about, Dave.
I know who you're talking about. I guess.
Yeah. And so bring it on, man. But no, he's not going to be an action star, even though Equalizer 1, 2, and 3 was dope as hell, in my opinion. But them days is gone, but whatever. It just makes me feel hopeful for the movie, Don, that with him signing on, he hadn't signed on for bullshit in 100 years. I mean, when he did Macbeth, holy shit. It was like, damn, this is like all new cinema, It was like, wow, I've never even cared about Shakespeare that much. But
you actually made an excellent point about Black Panther 2. It was like, yes,
it was a funeral dirge.
It was a 2-hour funeral.
Twice for two different characters, right?
Yeah.
The mom and the son. You know?
Yeah. It was hard. It was really hard to watch. And in that respect, like, it wasn't anything that was fun in the movie. It lost any.
Yeah.
It got lost because you were just sad about Chadwick Boseman passing away. And it's just like, yes, it's sad that he passed. And I still stand by T'Challa is too important of a character to Marvel
recast
to leave him dead.
They should have recast it. What are y'all doing? He is way too much important to Marvel to see black readers like me growing up, and even the young kids just to watch that character. Just he's dead off screen. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Dave, but go ahead. That's just I'm passionate.
I'm just agreeing with you. The first Black Panther movie was such a movement. Is the only way to describe it. Like,
for sure.
Well, no, Dave, as you know, when Omega Level Nerds does his thing, I podcast with the Black Man. So, and I quote, "It is Black Christmas." That is Black Panther.
Yeah, no, but it was like, I mean, there were people dressing up as the characters from
Oh yeah,
Coming to America and all this crazy stuff going to see
yeah.
this
It was
movie.
very important to the Black community. It was very important to Black nerds because that was pretty much all we had, and it wasn't
Right,
even like a shitty hero. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh,
right,
he's a dope ass
because
hero.
what was the last hero that you really had was Blade, but those movies were not as big as all the MCU movies. This was like
Blade is
now it's big time.
Blade
You
is-
know,
Blade is so damn dope. You know? But
it is.
Fuck
It is.
yes, it
Those
is.
movies, but those movies were very niche in the '90s when they came out. This is now big time mainstream. You're getting your representation on screen. It's a beautiful thing, and to see be like, oh well, the actor died, so the character died. Like, no, don't
That was
do
bullshit.
Can't
that.
do it.
that was
Can't
bullshit.
do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a recasting man. Like, please,
Yeah.
can we recast
Comic books, dude.
Skywalker?
You're gonna have to.
Can we please do Luke Skywalker? Can we get some badass Luke stories? You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all want to go back in the past, I'd rather see Luke kicking ass with the green lightsaber for about 20 years. You know, with the new actor Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Don't give me this
Yeah,
CGI
I've seen
garbage.
that.
You know, let's do it. Give us badass Luke. You know, I mean, they tried Solo, but it didn't work. But I don't know. It's just a whole bunch of like sweet characters that's like in their prime who I would like to see. You know, just what are y'all doing? I don't need to see all this other shit, Rey and the prequels and all this stuff. Let's see. I would have recast all of Star Wars. I'm sorry. Recast them. Luke, Han, and Leia's too important to let them get old. I'm sorry. You know.
I've seen some names thrown out for him for Denzel for his character, and the one that makes the most sense to me is Sayan, who is T'Chaka's brother, so T'Challa's uncle. And he could be Shuri's mentor in the movie. Like, I kind of feel like that's something they could do. The other one that I saw thrown out, and I'm like, it's too bad John is off this week, was Mephisto. I don't know, but that would be
They
interesting.
ain't bringing Satan to the MCU. They could have.
Well,
they had so many chances to do that.
They did in Agatha. He's there. They mentioned him. I mean,
They mention him, but they don't actually show him. So,
That's what I'm saying. And I didn't watch Agatha because I was just like, I'm not. I'm just not. I mean, I watched so much stuff that was Marvel, and when it got to that, I was like, I don't care about this lady.
it introduces Wiccan. That's kind of how they make you care about it, to be honest with you. If I'm to boil that shit down, like they introduce Wiccan.
I saw that and I still wasn't. I haven't watched it. I don't think I'm gonna watch it. I watched all of the Acolyte though, just because it was such a train wreck that I couldn't take my eyes off.
Oh my God! Don't. Okay,
I was just like,
get him started.
bad.
Don't get Don started.
I was like, it's so bad. And here's the worst part. I said it on our pack. I don't know if we ever published any of ours because, like, of course, you know, Racist America jumped on that shit too, and he was like, damn. They right. It was like, damn, I'm agreeing with the racists. It was terrible. It was a bad show. It was the worst writing and dialogue in South history. You know,
and the funny thing is, and Don, you know this, I was trying to defend the show until the end, and the end of that series was so stupid. I was
whatever. Just drink your motherfucking haterade and move on. I'm not going to do. You know.
No. I will give the show one prop. The lightsaber fights was bad as hell. Look, oh my God, especially that last one. I mean, I was like, now it needed better music. You know, it needed better, you know, it needed better like gravitas. But the skill, whoo, I was like, these dudes would have effed up pretty much all of them, you know. But the lightsaber fighting was dope, but it wasn't nowhere near enough. It wasn't even close to being enough. It was terrible. And I'm ranting right now on your show because I've been trying to rant on the internet about it. I was so disappointed. Like, not that I had high hopes for it. It just sucked ass. It was nothing good about that show except for they had 2 lightsaber fights, not the one with the Wookiee because that was bad. But when all the Jedis got slaughtered, but you was still like, damn, he killed all these damn Jedi like that, you know. And then but the fight at the end between, you know, the 2 Asian stars was like, ooh, it was dope. It was dope. You know, I was like, but
No, yeah, the again, there was a lot of good things, but just like especially at the end when it was like they mind controlled the Wookiee and like they're trying to make you feel sympathetic for the
we're
coven.
fucking here now. I didn't want to argue about the show, but we're here now.
yeah, please, get in here, dog. Get in here, man.
Okay, all
God,
right.
you
So
know I love you.
I know, dude. We spent 4 days in a hotel room together, like forever love.
Wait, whoa.
Forever sexual, healthy, emotional love, Dave. But goddamn, y'all are way too critical of this fucking Acolyte show. You're already saying that the lightsaber fights are great, and you're absolutely fucking right. I don't understand everybody's aversion to the lesbian space, which is like, it's a thing. It's okay.
Oh my
God!
God!
Come on.
The singing, the I was like, oh, what's happening? My wife walked through the room and she was like, "What's happening?" I was like, "What's happening?" She was like, "What's happening?" We both was like, "What the hell is this?" And then, oh my God! And then they all died, and it was like, "What the shit?"
See, okay, you just hit me where I really can't. Okay, the whole power of one, power of two, power of many. Like, I get it. That was corny.
See, they were singing it.
Well, I understand, because I can't go to that level of corniness. So I acknowledge that was a cringe moment.
It's cringe.
But everything else, like, I really dug. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. Why does everyone hate that shit?
No. It's not everybody hates it, because a lot of people liked it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of people did. So I understand that Star Wars fans, there's Star Wars for everybody. But I just had, it was, what was the name of the show? The Acolyte. So I was expecting all this Sith shit, you know, and with the bad guys being like bad. But
okay, I get that on a level, because
I still stand by
expecting more Plagueis. I was expecting more like Chief Palpatine. Like, I can understand that disappointment on a level. I can.
I'm gonna tell you what bugged me the most: the writing and the acting. The writing, the dialogue was so wooden and so. I was like, damn, who's writing this? I kept saying it.
Could have been Lucas.
Who's writing this? And I was like, Star Wars has been written way better than this. Who is writing this? And then the actors was just like, they were just like CW, even worse, you know, just.
Well, everybody was like gushing over I'm sorry, I don't remember the actor's name, who did Saul. And he's the one who did what, Red Light, Green Light on Netflix, or whatever the fuck the show is, or whatever it's called. Yeah,
Squid Game.
I do agree. His shit was kind of wooden, but I guess I don't hold it so much against him because he learned English.
I mean, and he was, and
well, Star Wars people are wooden, I guess. I kind of accept that about the galaxy.
Okay, whole. I still stand by the show.
How the fuck are we here? How are we arguing about the actual?
Hold on. I just want to make one last point. I still stand by the show could have been good if at the end it was the sisters fighting each other and
fight each other.
Well, I mean, that was the final fight, and one sister has to kill the good sister has to kill the bad sister, and because of that, she disavows the Jedi and walks away. Like, that would have been a better show instead of she's got amnesia and apparently Yoda was in on the whole thing, and that's when I was like, okay, I'm done. So
I'm sorry, bro, and I'm normally the most positive person in the room, but I couldn't even do it. I was like, this shit sucks. But my opinion, not just you know what you like, but
art is subjective.
It's just like, wow. It's all about the writing, isn't it? For me, it's all about the story. Even if you got a bunch of shitty wooden actors, if the story is good, you know, I'm in. But
see, and I will like to see them do the thing type person. I admit that I'm not a very intelligent level of content consumer. Like, I'm like, oh, I got cortosis weed. It just, it gets me going. You know.
Well, we had mentioned Sebastian Stan, an actor who should take over the role of Luke in the
For sure.
Luke Skywalker. He recently came out at he was at a convention and doing a panel and said he's not done playing the Winter Soldier. He'd love to play him longer.
Mhm.
And one
I'd
of
love
the
to go to
things
work
he would
next
love
week. You know, paychecks are nice.
one of the things he would love to do is a Winter Soldier prequel movie.
Isn't
And
that called Captain America: The First Avenger? You know, Bucky Barnes prequel.
okay, that's my theory. Like, so
He
you
wants a
could fill
midquel.
you could fill in the story between when he disappeared and was picked up by Hydra or the Russians, and then when he reemerges in Winter Soldier. So I don't know. Okay. So obviously, Don, you're giving your opinion. You think it's a dumb idea.
Mhm.
What do you think, Montago?
I think that I understand because I read all those books and they were some of the best reading in comic book history in my
Mhm.
life was that Winter Soldier shit, you know, and there was a lot of backstory that, of course, the movie could not, you know, tackle. And even when he, you know, came out and he was Bucky Cap, as Spider-Man called him, which was hilarious. So there was a because Cap was there, of course, but there was some room for a story. But no, I agree with Don. He's like, it's a job thing. There's only the, right the Winter Soldier, Captain America, Winter Soldier, kind of did like hit that, and then when we had Captain America, you know, the 2, in my opinion, the best Marvel movie of all time. That really, like, that was his story, right? And he was badass, and we loved it. And I don't know if we need to see any more of that. Bucky is still alive, and unlike a lot of people with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a lot of people didn't like it. I effing loved it. Of course, the pacing could have been picked up if it was maybe a movie more than it was, it, you know, trying to like make it a series. But I would love to see more just Bucky, especially since I didn't see much of him in the trailer for the new Captain America movie, which looks awesome, which in my opinion looks like Marvel going back to the shit that made Marvel great. But I would.
Did you see the last trailer for the Thunderbolts though?
I did not watch the Thunderbolts. I did not watch
It's
that one.
all fucking Bucky looking as badass as he possibly
Then
can.
he need to calm down then.
Right. No, exactly.
Okay,
like
wait.
imagine. Go ahead, sir.
No, I just had a question, and it's why I thought, okay, I kind of do want this story told, even if it's in another movie and not a Winter Soldier movie. Do they ever explain why he kills Tony Stark's parents? Why he kills Howard Stark and
He was
Tony's
programmed.
mother?
I mean, that's what they showed.
Right, but why? Like, why were they a target? Like, I feel like that's a piece that's still missing. Like,
You think that's a whole movie?
I don't know if that's the thing. I don't think it's a whole movie.
I'll sum it up real quick. Stark was making all the dopest ass weapons for the American government. Why would you want him dead if you're the opposition? Easy peasy.
Right.
I mean, kill him.
Yeah, like I just imagine that, like, if Sebastian Stan, you know, he's in a meeting and Kevin Feige's there, and he's like, I got an idea. Let's do a prequel for Bucky Barnes for the Winter Soldier. And Kevin Feige would look over at him.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
And that would be the end of it.
Hey, when did you add that in?
That's pretty
There
good.
it is, man.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, of course, if they did a Winter Soldier movie, it'd be dope. You know, because the character is sweet, and even in like Falcon and Winter Soldier, it was his scenes. I mean, they had a lot of great shit in that stuff. I think the weakest thing about that series is probably like the bad guys, you know, because you know they had all these super soldiers and stuff. But those guys work really good, and I'm kind of a little sad that I didn't see that much of Bucky in the Captain America trailer, you know, because I like those two actors. I think the chemistry is there between the two of them, and I would love to see them.
It is. It's funny as
yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the interesting thing, right? Because like
just them in a car.
They were both Steve's best friend
Exactly.
from different eras, right?
Right.
And now that Steve is gone, they have to like they're forced to like in a situation together to get along. And the only thing they have in common is this friend that is not dead, but he's, not there anymore.
Right.
So yeah, I think that is fun. Yeah, and I also stand by this too. I feel like it's so weird in the comics when they made Bucky Captain America first. I was like, that doesn't work for me. Like they just brought him back as Winter Soldier. He hasn't been back long enough. Him and Sam have more of a relationship. It should have been Falcon. And then when they finally gave it to Falcon, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Reverse that. Now in the MCU, I was like, no, it makes more sense. He's shown, even though he's partners with Sam, he's shown he's closer to Bucky's. So it made more sense to give it to Bucky, but he didn't. He gives it to Sam, and it was you skipped over that.
In MCU, he couldn't have did that because all of that terrorism he did was still fresh. You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't happening.
Yeah, that's true.
Super fresh. They was like, oh, he sure did blow up T'Challa's daddy and all the rest of these people. We ain't giving him shit. You know what I'm saying? And then the
but the funny thing is, they also show in Falcon Winter Soldier that Bucky doesn't want it because he knows he's not. It's too much of a responsibility. Yeah,
it was like that in the comics. And you remember he was Captain the Shield with the pistol.
With the pistol, yeah.
And, I like Bucky Cap again. Do you know that book when Spider-Man was like, "Come on, Bucky Cap," and he was like, "Don't call me Bucky."
Oh
Cap.
yeah, because everyone who read the book started calling him that. So yeah,
it's great, But yeah, it was different for the movies. But for the movies, no, he couldn't have been Captain.
Yeah,
all them damn innocent people. He killed a lot of people, bro. Ain't nobody forgetting him. In the really real world, we prosecute your ass and put you in jail. We ain't sitting there giving you a shield.
But in the movies, we let you go for service to your country. All right. And the last bit of news that we got, Kevin Feige at a Comic-Con in Brazil. Oh, no, it was D23 in Brazil. Recently said that Miles Morales will be coming to the live action MCU, but not until after Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out, which I find interesting because people are upset about it, but at the same time, that puts it in line with Secret Wars, which, in my opinion, that's how they're going to bring him in. He's going to be Spider-Man from another universe, and that's how they're going to bring him into the MCU. So, what do you guys think? Montago, what do you think? Are you excited to see Miles live action?
I wasn't back in the day. Back in the day when, they had brought Tom Holland in for the first movie, I was like, I don't want to see no more Spider-Man because even though I love Into the Spider-Verse and all those movies, I'm not a fan, again, of multiverses. I'm just not. And I'd just rather not see it. But without the multiverse, Spider-Man wouldn't, Miles Morales wouldn't exist. So saying that, maybe the Spider-Verse I don't mind, but the multiverse in Marvel, I do mind because it just gets so cheap, in my opinion. So if you're looking into the the Spider-Verse as the real universe, in the comics, because Peter Parker was Spider-Man, and then Miles came around and he mentored him and things like that. I don't mind that. Into the Spider-Verse movies totally changed my opinion on Miles Morales coming into the Spider-Verse. It was so good. It was so epic. It was better than some of the movies, a lot of the movies. And it was damn, this character is so good. This universe is so good. It was so different than Peter Parker with, him having both of his parents, in his life, and, him just wanting to be better. And without the Spider-Verse, there was no movie, right? Because Gwen Stacy was from someplace else, and all these other characters which mentored him and helped him along. So I began having a super love affair with Miles Morales. Now I loved him before, because when you're reading comics, you're like, okay, this is a different universe. It's not that bad, because normally they didn't infringe upon each universe with other characters. It was this is the 616 universe. This is the whatever universe, and this is what's happening there. When they came out with the Ultimate Universe, it's fine. the shit is constant here, and if anybody dies, they die, right? They're not coming back. We're not going
Right.
to another universe to bring them back. And you know, I really like the Ultimate Universe because you know that's where Miles Morales was, if I'm not mistaken. And
Yep.
so for them to decide to do that now, that character of Miles Morales is so effing cool. Like I bought a PlayStation 5 and played all 3 of the games that were effing phenomenal on the the PlayStation, the Miles Morales games and the Spider-Man game, and then like two of them together. Enjoyed it so much. I'm like, this is a rich character, and it's not even a cheap character. That's like Spider-Man knockoff. No, it is, but you know, he's his own Spider-Man, and giving a nod to the other Spider-Man. So by all means, especially with the characters y'all been coming out with, trying to do movies with, like, you know, trying to make with, you know, nobody's been excited about, you know, much of Marvel in a while. I think everybody would lose their goddamn mind to see Miles. And my only regret is that the childish Gambino couldn't actually play that role because actually pitched it to begin with and would have been perfect at the age, you know, when he first pitched it and stuff.
Yeah.
The suit, man, you know. So that's my opinion, man.
He's close to our age, isn't he? Come on.
Hey, I'm 52, and like I know he got to be 40 something. You ain't no Miles Morales. You ain't 15, 16 years old no more. You know.
And it's funny because I think you made an excellent point, but maybe you didn't realize it. One of the things that makes the Spider-Verse movies work is that in each universe, like at least the main characters, it's not like 5 versions of Peter Parker. It's like all different Spider-Men. So you got Spider-Gwen, you get Miles, you get Peter, you get Spider-Punk, like all different versions of Spider-Man. So that's what makes it work. Whereas No Way Home, you got 3 Peter Parkers, you know, so which was that was their opportunity to bring Miles in.
Love that movie, and they should have. That's the only thing was missing. I love that movie, and I hate multiple universe stuff, but damn, No Way Home, dude, I could have every time Garfield talked, I just wanted to cry, man. You know, and I'm not even an emotional dude, but to me, he was the star of that movie. I was like, damn, Andrew Garfield, I want to see another Andrew Garfield Spider now that, you know, he has worked through this shit. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, speaking of emotional men that like to cry, Don, what do you think about Miles coming into the MCU?
And I fucking love a good emotional cry where I look ugly and shit. Fucking love it.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, so yeah, what's funny about the Miles Morales character, how interesting it is, because here we have a 52-year-old man that just told you how great they thought the character was, okay? Which is wonderful. But fuck all that. The kids love that shit. They love Miles Morales. They love Into the Spider-Verse. And so Miles Morales, aka the reason why Sony has Marvel by the balls, and by the way, Marvel placed their scrotum into Sony's hand by saying, we want to do Secret Wars. Holy shit. Well, guess who's the whole reason the good guys even fucking win in Hickman's Secret Wars? Miles Morales. Why? Spoiler alert. Because Molecular Man was hungry and Miles Morales had a cheeseburger in his pocket and gave it to him. Boom. That's why Secret Wars gets resolved, because of Miles Morales.
Professor, excuse me. So I'm not aware of Hickman's Secret Wars. I'm only aware of the Secret Wars, which Spider-Man was the. So that's the thing, huh? You just educated me stuff, because I never knew. I remember they did a Secret Wars thing after the original, and I was like, I read this already. I didn't know it was something different, you know. So it was Hickman.
Right, and
it must have been super cerebral.
Obviously, that's the direction they're going in the MCU, because they're bringing Doom in, and he's the one behind the second Secret Wars. So,
because in the second Secret Wars, actually it's the third Secret Wars, but anyway, nonetheless, it's all about these universes converging and destroying each other, or one survives and one doesn't. And so the ultimate and the 616 converge.
Stuff there, but go ahead.
A little bit, yes, absolutely a DC.
That is
absolutely,
which is how you end up with Miles in the 616 universe,
Yeah, I
because
remember
he
that.
survives.
Because I mean,
Which-
he was the only person to survive right out of the universe.
Yes.
He's like, I'm
Yes.
here.
Right. And once that's the whole thing. Once they said, "Oh well, we can't use Kang because the actor had some issues," that's, you can tell that's why they went this direction. Okay, well, we'll just do what they did in the comics. We'll do Secret Wars and we'll collapse everything into one universe and get rid of the multiverse that way. So, yeah.
So, anywho, yeah, I'm all for it because the kids love it, and it is a very integral character. If they're actually going to do Secret Wars, it's just I cannot believe Sony still has Marvel by the balls. Because forget about Miles Morales. I mean, don't forget about him because the fucking character is huge with the kids, which means, hey, look, you can have life after us 50-year-olds or 45-year-olds us die off here soon. But still, with Spider-Man, still, you know, as much of an X-Men fan as I am, as much as this is the highest-selling comic in the history of all mankind, Spider-Man has still always been more of a better brand in Marvel than X-Men. So,
yeah.
Sony, I cannot believe Marvel does not own the rights to and has to work with Sony like this.
It was in
Sony
trouble,
is
man.
such a I get it. I mean, I get it, but goddamn, Sony is so like lucky, right? Because like, remember when the PlayStation first came out? They're like, boom, we've got the most popular video game. Oh, and by the way, we make all the CDs, so you know we get to do it for cheap as fuck, and hence why the PlayStation is as dominant as it is. But way to go, Sony! You fucking made the right bet because Marvel's ball sack is right.
Well, right.
There,
They didn't have to put any money into like all of that, you know, Marvel stuff at all. And so they just but they received all of the royalties and all of the money for it. So that was beautiful for them. Moving forward, they keep doing these movies without Spider-Man.
Yeah, those fucking suck ass.
You know,
yeah.
Y'all just won't put a Spider-Man. You don't even have to like get Tom Holland. You could just get a stuntman in a suit. You know, but, you know, they don't even do it because, like, you know, comic books, all you needed to see was Spidey come swinging by.
Listen,
you know?
Old motherfuckers like us, like I will complain to the high heavens about the fucking Venom trilogy. Holy fuck, how do they have a trilogy and no Spider-Man? But my 10-year-old daughter is all about that shit.
Yeah.
All about the Venom. It's the only reason I've even fucking watched them other than being on superheroes.
Have you guys watched the third one? Is that out yet?
Yeah, we did a review a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to go to the movies about it, but I told Tiff, I said it might come on streaming, so let's hold our breath.
Right.
You know,
45 days is.
I was gonna say it actually is doing pretty well in the box office, which surprised me. Not as good as like other movies, but yeah.
Got an Eminem song. You ever hear it? Venom, Venom, Venom. My kids all over it.
I remember they said something. I heard something about that. I actually like the Tom Hardy, like his acting and the whole Venom thing. I do like the Venom Eddie Brock dichotomy, which is completely different from the comic books, but I kind of like it. And you know, and I'm like, I kind of dig it, you know. So, but I didn't like the second movie. I liked the first one. I didn't like the second one.
That's good.
Well,
I never thought. I saw 1 and 3. That's it.
Oh, well, they had Woody Harrelson, which I thought it was going to be really good because he was Carnage.
You
but
would
it
think.
was just kind of like,
yeah.
Who the fuck else would you get to play Cletus Cassidy ever in all the world? Who else would you do?
I don't think he was crazy.
I always point out that was the first date with my girlfriend is we went and saw the second Venom movie.
Really?
Yeah. And we're still together,
Always
so
sucks.
hey.
Yeah, but that always sucks. Like when you just go to a movie that you wouldn't otherwise go unless you might get laid afterwards, and then it becomes a thing. Like, oh, this is a shitty movie, but whatever, it's our thing now.
I've been married for 20-something years, so I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, since Don put the image of Marvel's ball sack in everyone's head, you can all contemplate that as you watch an ad for some other ball sacks, and we'll be right back with some fun.
This is so wizarding.
Broadcasting very fast and very dangerous from the planet Malistair. You are listening to So Wizard.
You're thinking, people gonna die?
The only podcast to make the Kessel run in under 12 parsecs.
No one to stop us this time.
I am your host, Joey DiCarlo, and with me, my co-hosts, the queen of all nerds, Aubrey Litchfield, and the expert, Mr. Marquis, Marcellus Ray. You are listening to So Wizard Podcast, where three friends review movies, TV, and sometimes more, podcasting weekly on the Geek World Allstars Podcast Network. Marcellus Reagans, please tell the listeners where they can find more So Wizard Podcasts.
Everybody, you can head on over to SoWizardPodcast.com, and there you're going to find a brand new episode every week. Find So Wizard on all podcasting streaming platforms, such as iTunes, Spotify, Good Pods, and pretty much wherever you can find a podcast. Check out our YouTube page, where new content is being uploaded regularly. We also have a Patreon page. For as little as $1 a month, you can receive exclusive bonus content while you're supporting the show.
No, I didn't. First of all, a podcast takes a lot of work, okay? You have to organize the guests, you have to do a Google Calendar, and then you build a following. It takes a long time, and I've been working on it for a while.
All right. Yeah, that's
who the hell was that guy? Where was Marcellus Reagans? Who was that guy?
That's the ad. That's the ad that Randy from 445 put together for So Wizard, and yeah, it's all AI generated.
It was AI. I was like, who the fuck is that?
You look at Joey. That is not Joey.
Joey was so pretty. I was like, man, he pretty.
Why'd you even play that, Dave?
All right, let's we're gonna play a game. Now I'm gonna give you guys an option. We can do 2 games, or we can do just the one. So I'm just gonna do. Montago knows this game really well. Price of Tomatoes.
Yeah, I'm no good at it, but
multiverse. We'll do the multiverse edition, or we could just do dumb questions. So, and I want to explain the dumb question thing. So I bought this game. It's called Dumb Questions to Ask Your Friends. And I bought this for New Year's Eve, right? Because my girlfriend and I always get together with some people, and we just do a low key at home, eat charcuterie and play board games, and then, say Happy New Year, and then we go to bed.
I love charcuterie.
It's just a fancy way of saying cheese and crackers.
Yep.
So I thought, and we could also, there's Randy. I'm not Randy. Mark from So Wizard. Randy made an amazing commercial. That's what movie expert supposedly looks like.
You were such a handsome man, Mark.
You're so handsome there, Mark.
Goodness gracious.
So the problem was I didn't know. Like, I read some of the questions that are in the game on the back, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of funny. But you kind of like have to be together with the cards to play the game. So we really can't play it, but I can ask you some of the questions for fun. So do you guys want to do both? You want to do one or the other?
I'd say one at 1 hour and 18 minutes in.
Yeah, I'll go with the majority.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's do Price of Tomatoes, because we can actually do that pretty quick. So how Price of Tomatoes works, Don, since you've never played it before, this is a game they play on So Wizard. Not So Wizard. Oh my God, I'm sorry. This is a game they play on
the brain.
Fans on Patrol every once in a while.
In your head.
And how the game works is you pick a movie, and then the bidding in Price is Right. Whoever gets closest to the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes without going over wins the point.
Gotcha.
So I picked some movies, and I tried to stick to ones that are actually. So this was an interesting thing too. I looked this up, and we're in phase 5 now of the MCU. Anything after phase 3 is considered the multiverse saga, even though some of these movies are not multiverse movies. But let's start with the big one. Doctor Strange. Okay, and wait, I got to say who's going to go first, who's going to go second. So, since you know the game, Montego, you'll go first. But
Okay.
so the first movie is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. What do you think the critics' score on Rotten Tomatoes was?
I don't think it was good. Doctor Strange was probably I'm gonna give it a 66.
Okay. Don?
I'm gonna give it a good old 72. My football number, 72%.
Wow. And Kassan wants to play. He's saying 63. You're all wrong, but Don is actually the closest. Believe it or not, it got an 89% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes.
All right.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Because that was still after we were drunk from Endgame. Remember that? Remember, like, after Endgame, how we're just all like, oh, still trying. And then before we like, oh, this is Phase Bore,
Man, I'm flabbergasted. Okay. All right. Shit.
All right. This will be the interesting one. Oh, and I will also say that the audience score for that was 86. So it was kind of close to the critics.
Really?
Yep. All right, Don, you get to answer first this time.
Okay.
Ant-Man and the and Quantumania. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
We're gonna go with 8.5. 8.5.
Oh,
85.
Wow. That's high.
Again, I think we're still a little punch drunk from Endgame on that one, so we'll see.
Okay.
My turn?
Yes. Sorry, Montego.
Low. I'm gonna give it a 58%.
And Kassan says 50%. You're all over.
I thought so.
Holy shit!
It's bad.
So I won't give I got quite a few here, so I won't give the point to anyone. It's actually 46%.
I'm not.
Quantumania got 46%. It got an 82% audience score, which I thought was weird because I didn't think anyone liked that movie. But yeah,
but the critics didn't like Michelle Pfeiffer fucking Bill Murray's character. Got it.
All right. We should be safe with this one. I think we'll see.
Off the board.
Don, you go first this time. No Way Home.
Oh, No Way Home. Oh, No Way Home. Right. That was the second one. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
I did. Yeah.
That's the third one. That's the
third one. Okay.
That's the one with all the Spider-Men.
Oh, No Way Home.
We're gonna go with 95. 95%.
Okay. Montego?
88.
Well, Montego gets the point because you went over, Don. It's 93%.
93.
I knew it was in the 90s, but I didn't know where, so I just went to the 80s.
All right, it's 1-1. It's tied up.
All right.
So we can just do let's do the Marvels. Montego, you go first.
The Marvels?
Yep.
38%.
Oh, okay.
38%. Let me see here. 58%. I'm gonna go 58%.
Don gets it. 62.
Really? I think these scores have moved over time.
These are all I gathered all these today before we
No, I'm saying like because I remember we played this game like on our show and it wasn't that high, but over time the scores kind of like change sometimes. Wow.
Right.
Kassan is flabbergasted.
I am too. Shit. What you say? 62%?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so it's 2-1. It's 2-1. Do we want to keep going, or do we want to
keep going? Shit, we gotta keep going.
Okay, let's give Montego a chance here. All right, here's a good one. Here's a really good one. Believe it or not, this is considered part of the multiverse saga. The Eternals.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, you gotta go first, Don. I just went,
Yeah,
right?
Don, you go first.
Yeah. 52. 5-2.
Okay. All right. Montago?
Shit, 52. I'm gonna go 38.
Montego gets it because Don went over. It's 47%.
It was low.
Oh man, I'm going
But
just a little bit
This
too
is
much.
one of the ones that shocked me. The audience score is 77%. I don't know who liked this movie.
Dude, all they did is walk around and just like stand in fields and raise their hands and shit, right? Wow.
Right.
All right, we are tied 2-2. It's a dead heat. Let's see. What else we got? Well, really, the only thing that's left that I have the scores for in front of me is Loki. And we can do both seasons are considered part of the multiverse, but I'm going to go season 2. Loki season 2.
Got you. Season 2. I'm going to give you 74%.
Fuck
Okay.
me. I haven't even finished that one yet. People generally seem to like it, though I haven't heard anyone bitch about it. My wife hates Owen Wilson.
Really?
Yeah, she does. She despises him. Oh wow. I did a horrible impression. I'm sorry. 78%. I feel that's
You
my
said
analytic.
78. What did you say,
78.
Montego? I'm sorry.
Shit, I forgot my number. What did I? I thought I said 70. I think I said 72.
Oh, all right. Unfortunately, Don, you get it. And I'm going to make that the final question. It was 82%, which is funny because season 1 had 92%. And I actually liked season 2 better than season 1. But
I like
what do
season
I know?
1 better. But I did like the Owen Wilson character when he came in. I mean, because he wasn't like, I guess he was still kind of like, wow, but
Yeah.
Still good.
So there you go. Don, you are the champion of the multiverse.
Yeah, I
Price
never
of
win this
Tomatoes.
thing. I like it's so rare for me to win Price of Tomatoes. So I love the game. We play it on our show all the time, but I rarely win.
All right, and I'm just going to ask one question.
Yeah.
We can all answer this. If you could be any animal for a day, which animal would you be? Montego.
Bird of prey, brother. Flying like
Any particular bird of prey or
a hawk, a
like
eagle.
a hawk,
Doesn't matter.
an eagle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right,
something
cool.
with somebody not, taking my ass out the sky.
How about you, Don?
Yeah, tardigrade. You ever hear of those? They're like microscopic, but they're indestructible. Like they can survive in the vacuum of space.
God damn. No, I never heard of that shit before.
Oh yeah, look those up, man. Those fucking creatures are crazy as fuck. You can't kill them.
Holy shit. What is it called?
Tardigrade. Here, let me.
Oh my god. You pulled out the win there. And it's not even a game.
I've heard of that shit before. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. TARDIGRADE. Tardigrade. Read about that shit. Enjoy.
Thrawn's would be dog pool for a day. You know what? I was gonna say a dog because chances are I'll be owned by a good family. I'll be fed. I'll be taken on walks.
Oh,
I'll
boy.
be completely taken care of for a day. That's what I want. So I would be a dog for a day.
You'd be the dog from Snatch.
Oh
Daisy.
God, that's right. But he had to
Come
eat
here,
a squeaky
Daisy.
toy.
Did he squeaky toy? Then a
Good boy.
diamond.
They're not attractive, Don. Not at all.
No, they are not.
All right. Well, that is it. We as Montago would say, we came to do it. We got it done.
We came to do it. We got to get done.
Let's bring this one in for a landing, and I will ask. We'll start with Montago, as we always do. You get an option here. You can do both. Did you learn anything this week on the podcast? What did you learn this week? And if you didn't learn anything, do you have any recommendations?
Well, I did learn that Don can do a hell of a Ray Stevens like Sith Lord, so that shit was like super dope. And my recommendation, although I haven't seen I won't go to what is it? I won't go to the Penguin. What I did enjoy was Transformers 1. I enjoyed the hell out of that show. I mean, that movie. It was a family movie, so it wasn't like hardcore. But just watching Orion Pax and Megatron being like buddies, which was I didn't even want them not to be friends. I mean, like become enemies, because I was like, they are such good buddies, And then you had the deception with the other like quintessons going on, and then like the war happened. I was like, damn, man, I really, 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 really like this movie, man. I enjoyed the shit out of Transformers 1. So for your guess.
All right, Don.
I learned that I am too nerdy, that you guys don't know who tartar braids are. And you should. I don't know. I feel that them and railguns are just a bigger part of my life than
I know what a railgun is.
Be.
I know what a railgun is. And I've seen these things depicted in animation before, but I didn't know it was some real shit here. I'm like looking at this stuff.
Other than that, I also learned that me and Montago should be the best of friends, because he also lives somewhere near Lake Erie and has the wherewithal to be looking at yachts. So I would really like to be part of all of that.
Right, my brother.
I'm a good fisherman. I'm 6 foot
You
and
are
strong. You can ask Dave. We were just by each other, and so I am healthy and ready to be first mate of whatever you name your ship.
I got a name already. It's called Security Here.
Wonderful. I do pack a 9mm or an M4 carbine, whatever you're most comfortable with, and make sure your rig is secure.
All you got to do is talk, man. That voice and that you got that gravitas.
Okay. You can do that. Absolutely.
I learned that Don will do anything to get on a boat.
You are out of line, sir, but not wrong.
Don's interview was live streamed.
Right.
I will also recommend. First, I'm going to recommend, if you are not subscribed to Fans on Patrol, you should go over to the YouTube channel, subscribe right now, go check them out on your favorite podcast catcher, and they're back. They are back. Go watch them. Go listen to them. However you consume podcasts.
New episode coming up this week.
There you go. Also, I will recommend that if you've gotten this far in the podcast and you haven't done so yet, please click that subscribe button. Click that bell for notifications so you don't miss us when we go live here Sunday nights at 8:30. Smash that like button. Helps with the algorithm. Yes, there you go, Montago. Move out of the way. Get the show out there more. And if you're so inclined, please buy one of our t-shirts. Link is in the description below. It really will help us out in the long run and help us to continue doing our wonderful show here every week. And also make sure you go to superheroespeak.com, where you can find the podcast every week. Links to all our social media at the top of the page, comic reviews, and so much more. And Don and I have to do some talks about comic reviews, because that is probably going to change. We're going to probably start doing short ones on social media, but we haven't gotten there yet. But soon, I promise, very soon. Keep an eye out for that, especially on TikTok and YouTube here. We'll probably be posting those. So, all right. On that note, boys and girls, as always, thanks for watching. Don't let your cake get caught in the door. Have a good week.
Superhero speak.